Who else is ready to join me? I am ready to hibernate. It is winter time. I want to live more seasonally because I think it has a profound impact on us. I'm tired. I'm worn down. I'm exhausted. Life has been throwing so much at us lately that honestly, I just want to hibernate. I just want to feel recharged for once. And so these are the 3 steps that I am taking to start my hibernation era right here, right now. And I want you to come and join me so that we all can feel a lot more ready to take on whatever it is that life is going to throw us in the next season we come to. Hey there, friends. I'm Heidi, the Heavenly Minded Homemaker, and I love sharing here in this space. And I feel like we kind of always focused on certain things. And last year, we were blindsided when we got hit by Hurricane Helene here in Western North Carolina. And I know I keep talking about it, but it's truly because it was that massive and that devastating. I mean, our towns all around us are still highly, highly impacted. Our own home is still in shambles in many areas because of it. And we have been doing nothing but just going, trying to repair, trying to rebuild, trying to heal from it. And I'm exhausted. I am worn down. And so a season of hibernation is one that I am in desperate need of. And I will link a playlist at the end. So if you're just finding this video, you can go and watch those others as well. But I am ready to set a time of hibernation for myself so that I can start to recharge and heal internally so that I can pour into my life, my marriage, my children, everything that I do from a more whole and complete place. And of course, we're going to be doing this as a whole family. So whether you're doing it just yourself or you're doing it as a whole family, I wanted to share 3 things that I think are key to setting yourself up for success to go into this period of hibernation. I think winter is the perfect time for it, especially here this week in North Carolina. It is going to be absolutely freezing. We're in a massive, massive freeze right now, and everything is so cold and miserable that hibernation honestly just sounds absolutely perfect. And so these are the 3 things that I think are really important to set ourselves up, whether you are going to do this for a weekend, a whole week, maybe a whole month, maybe until the rest of winter, right? Whatever it might be. I think these things are really, really important to think about because seasonal living is not the norm in our modern life anymore, right? You think back to how things used to be and kind of that seasonal rotation and seasonal way of living was very, very common practice. But due to so many modern inventions, post-industrial revolution, I feel like this has really just gone away more and more and more every year. And I think that's why so many of us are feeling that need to get back to this in some way. And so because it is so different, I think we are wise to put a little forethought into this before just pulling all the drapes down, closing everything and turning off our phones and hiding from the world for the next few weeks until spring rolls around. And so these are the things that I think we all need to consider. I have been thoughtfully thinking through these. I've been discussing them as a family, and you know it, I'm absolutely going to share how this goes for our family. So be sure when you subscribe, you turn on your little bell notifications to see these update videos as they come out. And please genuinely leave me comments below. Let me know how it's going for you. I would love to hear how you are feeling if you attempt this kind of hibernation phase and restore yourself and really nourish your soul through the cold and the dark winter months, but in a way that is very cozy and nourishing and healing. And so the first one I think is to determine necessity. Now, when we say hibernate, well, we can't all go be bears and just literally fall asleep and do absolutely nothing until spring shows up. So I think we need to determine necessity. And this is one thing for me that I have a very hard time not being a workaholic, just go all the time. I don't sit well. I don't relax well. This time last year, I had foot surgery and was forced to be immobile, and it was really, really difficult on me. And so I think it's important that we determine necessity. When we say we're going to go into this, so we are going to hibernate on the weekends. We're going to hibernate for the next week. We're going to hibernate until spring shows up, right? Whatever it's going to be for you. What are the things that are still necessities in your season of hibernation? Some examples. We have a family unit of 14 people on our property. So it is me, my husband, and our 4 children. My brother lives here on the property, and then our good friends just moved out here right before the hurricane, and they have stuff here on our property, and they live here, and it is our friends with their 3 children, and then their daughter and her husband. They're all here. So we've got a lot going on here on the old homestead. Our home here is kind of the main home, and then people have their own things, you know, to kind of set them up. But there has to be some level of stuff still getting done in order for life to still function in any way, shape, or form, especially with 14 people living on one property. And so I think that the necessities of dishes, that's a big one. The dishes still have to get loaded in the dishwasher still has to run, and they still have to get put away. That has to happen. There's no way around it. And so what we've done is we have certain kids that have certain tasks, and one is tasked with making sure everything gets loaded, one is tasked with making sure it gets run at night and put away in the morning. And so that way we're able to kind of keep a workable line of normality as we go through this time of really just drawing in and hibernating. The same thing with laundry. I do 1 load of laundry every single day. Wash, dried, put away. And for us, that allows us to really kind of keep that at bay. And I'm sure by springtime, we'll really get into kind of how to really, you know, set up these home systems. And if that's something you're interested in, leave me a comment down below and let me know. Because I'd be more than happy to share on this. And there's a lot of kind of updates and things I'd like to do with our now much larger family anyways. But being able to do 1 load of laundry a day really does help keep this kind of level of okay going, so that way we can really be focusing on resting and healing and these other things we're going to get to, but still keeping the necessity things moving along. And so 1 load of laundry a day, super easy. We just throw our stuff in the washer as we go. I start it, run it, a kid puts it in the dryer, a kid brings it out of the dryer, we all separate, everybody takes their own clothes, puts it away. It's really quite easy. The third thing that I'm still going to do is, I honestly don't know how anybody lives without one of these. You guys are the best investment you could possibly make for your home, is my robotic vacuum. I have my robotic vacuum. It's a self-emptying one, which I love so much. I can link it down below, but that thing runs every night while we're asleep. So at least, again, this kind of like basic level of cleanliness and tidiness around. We have a lot of people coming through this house. We have a lot of animals here. We live in the country, right? We live on a homestead. There's lots of stuff that gets tracked in. Being able to have that just kind of run every night and keep things like that basic level of clean and tidy is really, really important. Now for our family, we've really leaned into a carnivore, ketovore way of eating, and throughout that process, which again, I have many, many videos on if you're curious, but healing our health I think is so important. Different topic for a different day. But all of that to say that we've really kind of honed in and moved to the space where our family feels most comfortable having like 1 meal a day. We might have a light breakfast, some bacon and eggs, you know, a little something, but we kind of have a late lunch, early dinner, just like main meal each day. And so that will continue to be our focus. I've put together a very simple menu plan, and I'm going to share how I'm going to do all of that, but having that 1 meal, that one focus, that is like the one thing. Anything else that somebody might want, if the kids get hungry or, you know, anything that anybody wants, it's all stuff that they can easily do themselves, where mom and dad, right? Our focus is our one main meal that we eat. And then of course, our last area of necessity for our family would be our animals. We do have a homestead. We've got a ton of dogs, a ton of cats. We've got chickens, we've got sheep, we've got all kinds of rabbits. We've got, you know, we've got all these different things that we have to take care of. So obviously there is a line with our animals that yes, we still have to go out every morning and do chores. We have to go out every night and do chores, regardless of what the temperature is like, regardless of if it's snowing or if it's icy or if it's whatever, we have animals we have to take care of. So we do have that, of course, as a necessity for us. Again, though, it's really neat to see that God really did design this rhythm of seasonality. And even our sheep, they behave very differently in the winter months than they do in the spring, summer, and fall. And so it is different what all they need in the winter months, but of course, still an area of necessity that we will, of course, continue to prioritize even in a season of hibernation. Now, just as important as determining your necessities for this period of hibernation, I think it's important that we determine our no's. So what does hibernation mean to you, right? What are you hibernating from, right? What are you no longer going to be doing, so that way you can prioritize this time of hibernation, of rest, of restoration. And so for us, I started thinking about this. I'm like, okay, what would our no's be then? What have I been doing? What are the things that have been, pulling so much attention, and things that we had to get to when really I'm just needing this time to rest and recharge? And I think a lot of that starts with outside engagements. Things that you sign up for, things that you end up going to, places you end up running, even projects around the property. For us, we finally got to a point where a bunch of these projects, our basement is still completely torn apart, right? Our driveway is still missing and down the river, right? We have all of these things that are still totally not taken care of. And we just said, they're going to have to wait until the spring. I don't know what else to do. They're expensive. They take a lot of money, right? I just can't take care of all of these things. They need a lot of resources. The ground is frozen, right? And we're all tired. So we're just wearing ourselves out when we keep trying to push and push and push. We need to let our bodies heal. We need to build back up that energy and that ability to go and handle those things. And we're going to have to cut out some of these extra things so that we can have that time to heal. If I don't have to leave my house to go deal with it, if I don't have to get on that call or go to that thing or do that project, then I'm just going to say no for right now. Again, maybe it's just for this month, maybe it's until the daffodils start blooming. I don't know yet, but until we've felt that wholeness that we're looking for here, a lot of things are just going to have to be no's for right now, and that's okay. You can prioritize your rest and health and healing and say, you know what, for right now, if I don't have to do it right now, I'm not going to do it right now, and that's okay. The other thing that I want to really start saying no to is just excess errands. Sometimes you'll get busy or you'll forget or whatever it might be, and instead of, going and getting groceries for the entire week, I'm like, well, we grab a day or two and then we do a couple more, right? And it just keeps like going and going and going. And you're like, I've run to the store 10 times this week. Sometimes it's just, you just want to drive through here or go do this, or what about that, or what about this? And next thing you know, you feel like you're just running all the time, and errands just start to stack up. I want to sit down. I made a very, very simple menu plan. I assigned one meal for each day of the week. And so each day of the week has a set meal. I'm sitting down and putting them all together in my grocery pickup order and just placing that once for the entire week. So instead of having to go out multiple times all throughout the week, I'll only need to actually go out, and I'm just going to do a pickup order, so I don't even have to go into anywhere, and do a pickup order once a week, bring it home. Our meals for the entire week are bought, put together, can get put in the house and be ready to go for the days that I need them. Being able to really whittle down those errands that you have on your list, I think is really important, right? Let's go to the library once for the whole month, right? Kids, pick out a handful of books or whatever it is, right? Like just go and batch that stuff up so that way you're not having to, oh, I forgot that, and I have to go out and do this. You're going to ruin your whole hibernation process if you're continuously running out and running back and forth and forgetting this and having to take care of that. So a little bit of forethought on these, and I think it's going to be very, very helpful. The next no that I'm setting for myself, and maybe this is one that would be a big one for you too. I don't know. You have to let me know. I am saying no to deep cleaning. I told you I don't sit well. And maybe it's my ADHD. I don't know. I get really overwhelmed when things are messy. It just overwhelms me like crazy. And now trying to get used to having 14 people using my house, it is really overwhelming sometimes to, oh, that needs to be clean. This needs to be organized. I need to clear all of this out and redo it all. I have all these things that pop up, and sometimes it can be really, really hard to not feel like you have to take care of everything right now. And so I really want to set this period for myself where, yes, I've determined our necessities, right? So we're going to still tick off those things that are really the core items that need to be dealt with. But as far as digging in and deep cleaning and decluttering and doing all of that, I'm going to let that be something that just waits for spring. unless it's, I don't know, unless I'm feeling totally rested in a week and everything changes, I don't know, you guys will have to keep watching and follow along the process and see how it goes. I want to just try to let it be and to start to be okay with, guess what? Maybe I can't take care of everything today, but that's okay. It doesn't mean that the world's going to end. It doesn't mean that I can't take care of it maybe a different day. I need to start determining my no's and just letting some things wait and be, because my rest and my healing is more important. All right, so it's great that we've set up our necessities. We know what our no's are. Let's determine what our focus is going to be in this process of hibernation. For me, the first one that I thought of was full sleep. I want to get good sleep, cozy sleep. I want to feel rested and just start to heal. Sleep is so important, and so much of what our body needs to be healthy and active and alert and energized comes from a good night's sleep. And I am the first person, you can ask anyone who knows me, every morning, hey, how'd you sleep, right? That's always my first question, because sleep is so important. So I do want to give a special shout out here to Hibernate. They reached out to us after the hurricane, when we've been having to replace nearly everything we own due to the water damage and the mold and everything that came from that. And that meant a new mattress. We had to replace bedding. We had a bunch of mold that started growing in our bedroom because of the windows and the way everything was hid. And we had to replace all that. Also, my husband is a really hot sleeper, and so finding something that would fit our needs was really, really important. And so when Hibernate reached out and said that they had a special cooling memory foam mattress, I said, sign us up. Thank you all so, so much for being so loving and supporting our family here in our restoration efforts. And they sent us over this cooling memory foam mattress. If you guys are needing a mattress so that you can get good sleep, highly, highly recommend them. They have different types of mattresses, of course, every size that you need for different purposes, and making sure that you have the right mattress for your body type and for your sleep type is really, really important to being able to hit something here, like having a full, truly healing night's sleep. And so very, very thankful to Hibernate. Again, I will link everything down below. If you're needing an affordable option to a good quality mattress, again, with different options depending on what you need, definitely check them out, as getting this was such a blessing and has made a huge difference to being able to get good healing sleep. And so we've gotten some for our kids, we have ours, and being able to work on these things definitely has made such a difference. And I am so looking forward to, again, with determining those no's and setting my necessities, being able to prioritize this. I'm going to bed earlier. I am allowing myself to sleep in until I need it, even if I'm not getting up as early as I normally would try to with my very productive schedule I would set for myself, making sure that we go to bed. I'm not looking at screens all night long, right? I'm getting to bed earlier. I've got my electric blanket on there, so I'm all warm and toasty, and getting a good night's sleep on a fantastic mattress that is supporting my spine, my neck, and all of my stuff the way I need it to, really is making a huge difference. So again, thank you to Hibernate. They're linked down below. Be sure to go and check them out. The second thing is that I want to watch uplifting entertainment. I don't actually really watch much of anything. I probably watch less YouTube than most people you've ever met. Our TV is rarely ever on. We subscribe to nearly no sources. So we watch very, very few things. But it doesn't mean that watching things is a bad thing and that we shouldn't do that. I'm just, again, not a person who sits well, so I don't watch very many things. But I was like, you know what? There are some things that I would like to take this time to be able to watch things that maybe are encouraging and uplifting. Maybe they're just very thought-provoking. Maybe it's learning about something fun as a family together. And so we've been looking for different things. I have some documentaries on a list that I'm really excited to watch. I listened to a couple podcasts with some food and nutrition stuff because I love that topic. And I found a guy who has some documentaries on it. So really excited to kind of watch some of those. My husband and I love finding really old movies and watching those and kind of going through them. We even started watching All Creatures Great and Small together. So like having a few things that are kind of just cozy and enjoyable to watch, that's something that I'm definitely looking forward to doing here in this little pocket of hibernation we're building for ourselves. I feel like our house is becoming our little cocoon, you know, that we're kind of prepping and building up and like, okay, let's all cozy in here and enjoy this time together. The next thing that I really want to focus on that I've already started, we're already a few weeks in, but having time each day for this little like luxurious habit I'm creating for myself, where I cozy up with like a hot cup of delicious tea and my Bible. And we're doing in the HMH Collective, it's our membership group. You guys are so welcome to join us. I will put a link down below. You can learn all about it. We are reading through the entire Bible in 90 days. So we started, but again, if you're just finding this, you can come join us. You're so good. And we're going to spend the rest of the winter reading through from Genesis to Revelation, but kind of creating this little luxurious moment for myself each day. Because I'm taking off all these extra engagements and responsibilities and things that I would normally be busy with. And instead I'm drawing in, I'm cozying up. I got a nice cozy chair, pull it up next to the window, and it's just my little time. And I sit there with a hot cup of tea and my Bible, put my audio Bible in my ear, whichever way I want to do it. And I'm just enjoying that. I've also picked up a couple books from the local library that I was like, you know what, I kind of want to weave those in too. So that way I'm having this little habit and little time that just feels so relaxing and enjoyable, and something that I never ever get to because I'm usually so busy trying to make sure I'm doing all the things, and I enjoy doing things, so it is great. But if I'm going to be hibernating, I want to be drawing in. I want to be doing some of this stuff and really reading things, scripture, and even other good books that are very nourishing. So that's another one that I am working on. The fourth thing that I want to focus on here in determining what I want to be intentional about in this time of hibernation is just purposeful nothing. Silence. I think especially in our modern world where TVs can be going 24/7, right? Phones can be used all the time. I know I do it too. I do it with my lots of good things, but I'll pop in an earbud to listen to my scripture for the day, which is fantastic. It's great. It's very, very helpful. Well, when I finish doing what I need to do, then I'll listen to this or listen to that, listen to this, and just keep going. So instead of doing that, yes, I want to have my set things that I'm reading through or listening through or watching. Sure, I have that. But then I also want to be intentional to let there be nothing, to let there be silence. I love finding my, soft music that I put together. I create these hymns of the homemaker videos, and it's just soft music, relaxing stuff. And I'll put that on and just let that play very, very low. So you have this, very soft, little soothing, atmosphere, but that's it. I'm not filling it with something I have to be listening to or paying attention to, or something that's just loud and jarring and, keeping your mind going a million miles a minute. I want to let there be time of nothing. I've been noticing the kids and I, we just go out and everybody kind of sits around the table. Somebody might be drawing, somebody might be reading, maybe they'll pull out games and start playing. Allowing this time of silence and nothing really is so healing. I think something we all could use more of. And so, yeah, I want to sleep well. I want to, watch some good things, read some good things. I want to do that. But then I want this time of hibernation to be a lot of nothing. So that way we really can focus on the restoration that we so desperately need. So friends, that's what I'm going to be up to around here. And I'm so excited that there's others that are going, you know what? Yep, me too. I'm coming and I'm joining you for that. Be sure when you subscribe, turn on those little bell notifications, because I absolutely plan to share some videos of how it's going for us here in the weeks to come. And if you have any questions or anything you want to know, just ask me down in the comments. I'm happy to share. But I think leaning into this seasonal rhythm, being able to rest and just really feel restored and nourished is something that's important. It's not just you being lazy and doing nothing. It's you healing and preparing for whatever season of life is next, that we can give each day our absolute best. And right now, our absolute best might be drawing together, resting, recharging, pouring into our little cocoon, that we can come out of it ready for the spring, ready for whatever it is that's next. So I'm super excited to share this with you all. I'm just ready to feel rested, to feel restored and recharged. And between this time in scripture, this kind of just giving myself the okay to rest, being able to just draw in and soak up the silence and the peace and the just sheer nothingness, is something I am so unbelievably excited to continue to do and share with you all as I can. So I'll go ahead and leave these videos right up here that, again, along these lines, I think might be a little more helpful. You guys can continue watching those so you can get yourself ready to go, ready to hibernate. Let's do this thing. I'll see you on the next video. Bye, friends.